Hi everybody, Tom and Shelley here with Empower Network and the 1010 Formula team. And today I have the privilege of interviewing the authors of this cool new book called The Mindset Shift. The Mindset Shift. Chris and Susan Beasley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Chris and Susan, one of the things that I've heard a lot here the last couple of days is talking about the mindset shift. Now, is that something that you coined, or have you just kind of put it into this nice, succinct book for us? Tell us how that's come about.
Oh, that's a really awesome question, Tom, Shelley. It's something, the mindset shift is something that came about from our own personal experience and the personal experience of our co-author Amanda Ollier, who was actually one of our very first students when she was wanting to get online. And we tell our story inside the book, but in answer specifically to your question, everybody at some point in their life has a limiting belief that stops them doing something, whatever it is they want to do. In this particular instance, we're talking about the mindset shift from being an employee or having some kind of business to going to a home-based business, because there's a lot of things that change in your life when you do that, and you go through a huge mindset shift, and that is exactly what the book is about.
I mean, we found that just working with people, and we work a lot with people who are just going online for the first time, or people who maybe had a home business but not really had any success in it. And one of the big problems that people have is when you're in an employee environment, whether that's you're self-employed or you actually work for a company, is that your life is very structured, and you go to your office or work, whatever it is that you do. You've got you've got set tasks that you do. You've got colleagues who help you. You've got a boss who tells you what you need to do. You've got all this environment that's very structured for you. And all of a sudden, when you move to a home business, the structure is yours. You don't have a boss. You don't have colleagues. You don't have all of these I don't know, guidelines in place, this structure in place. And therefore what happens is you end up in a scenario where you say, okay, I'm going to spend 2 hours a day on my business, if that's where you're starting. And you get to a situation and you sit down for your 2 hours and it's, well, what am I going to do? And all of a sudden you have to do your own planning, you have to do your own decision making. And that's a big issue for people who have come out of a very structured environment quite often. And therefore, we found that the biggest change that people need is to get their head from I'm doing this for somebody else to I'm doing this for myself. And that's what's in there. There's a lot of exercises in there to take you through understanding what the change is all about and what your mindset or where your mind has got to go before you can become successful. It's, and we're here at the Empower Network event, and the one thing that there is a common theme from all of the speakers, from Dave and Dave right the way through everybody else who's been on stage, is all about getting your mind in the right place and believing you can do it. Because if you don't, to us anyway, I mean, our experience is people just don't succeed.
Because you just think about it just for a moment. Chris has said, and this is why the book is based the way it is. You go to your job and you get paid to do a job, but you don't have to have any real belief in what it is you're doing. Your boss comes tell you, do this, and you do it. And at the end of the week and the end of the month, you get a paycheck for doing that. And you don't necessarily have to have a belief in the company or the product, because all you're doing is going there to earn a living, to pay bills and have a bit of a life. That's the whole philosophy around why we know it's so important to develop the mind through personal development, develop the mind through understanding what it actually can achieve when you know the powers behind it, and this is what it's all about.
So hopefully that answers your question.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I have to tell you, I sat down and read this book at one reading over about a 3.5, 4 hour period. And I think it's amazing how you've gotten everything in 140 pages from employee to entrepreneur to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, for crying out loud. So I'm really curious about the process. Tell us how long it took you to, from idea to inception to just a little bit about the background of writing the book and maybe why you guys wanted to write the book.
Okay, well, there's a very funny story about this, because actually both ourselves and our co-author Amanda Ollier, who actually has written a whole series of books called the Self-Help Bible, we had this idea we wanted to do this, and it had been in transition for quite a while, shall we say, and it wasn't until Empower Network came along that suddenly there was this little spark that said, we've got to finish this book. We've got to get it done because the moment is right, the time is right for it. And suddenly the ideas flowed, the whole thing came together. We got many of the chapters we've done, all of the Maslow's theory and all of that, because it all is very relevant, but it didn't all come together. But suddenly we had this like dynamic purpose, if you like, and it just all happened. It came together, and I write, Amanda writes, Chris has been amazing with all of the design of the cover and finding the guys who could do that, because all of this is very important, because you have to have a visual aspect to it as well. And we even got the family involved. We got our son doing the illustrations, and that suddenly has given him something amazing as well, because he's always been great at that, and he hasn't done it for years and years. And suddenly we asked him, and like in 24 hours, the drawings were done.
Wow.
So that in himself, he had a mindset shift, and now he's thinking, maybe I need to change what I'm doing.
That is amazing. That's amazing. So now, I haven't had time to do all of the exercises in the book. I certainly plan to go back and do those, though. That's a promise to you guys. Most books, you'll get all of the theory, and then maybe a second workbook, or buy the tape and we'll give you the rest of the story. Why put everything, and I think I know the answer to this already, but I want to hear it from you. Why put it all together in the same book?
I think it's important that when someone starts their journey, when they're reading the book, that they can actually complete the task. But it hasn't stopped there, I will say, because on the website, themindsetshift.com, we are going to have downloadable PDFs and other forms, other additions to the book that the readers can get to continue their journey. And in fact, this is only the first book in the series. We are right now in the process of writing the second book, which we hope will be out, or we know it will be out by the time of the next Empower Network event. And that is specifically going to be the mindset shift for women. So you guys are the first to hear that.
Yeah, I think, it's important that everybody, that when people are starting on their entrepreneurial journey, because you have to remember, a lot of people, this is a first time thing for them, and therefore it's really important that you get everything in one place. And it's not about, as you quite rightly say, in some books they say, well, here's the outline, now if you want the detail you've got to pay more money.
Right.
It's never going to be like that for us.
To us it's not about that, it's about getting people from where they are to where they want to be in the quickest possible time. And the first thing they have to do is get their head in the right place. And if they get their head in the right place and we give them that information in total, in a package, then we've done our job. I don't want to be in a situation where, as we say, you're continually upselling or cross-selling or whatever. We don't want to go there.
But we will be doing an audio of it. There's a lovely guy we met a couple of years ago who's a broadcaster who lives in Australia, and I'm getting in touch with him, and hopefully he's going to do the audio for this book.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so
we think it's important to have an audio as well.
There's so many different, people are always rushing about nowadays, and they're always on the train, in the car, at the gym, whatever it is. And audio is a fantastic way of delivering this information, because it means people can use their otherwise, say, wasted time And when you're on an entrepreneurial journey, you know, every hour counts.
Every minute counts, every second counts,
Sure.
truly.
Sure, that's absolutely true. You know, in a former life, I had a job where I spent a lot of time in my vehicle, and I listened to audiobooks and things like that. At the end of the year, I looked back and I had read over 250 books.
Really?
In a year's time, just in my vehicle. I mean, it just adds up that quickly. So there is real value in doing an audio version of this. So just the first in a series, and you heard it here first, with Tom and Shelley on Empower Network and the 1010 Formula team. Any last words that you'd like to give us?
Personally, my words to everybody watching this video now, and it's the same message that's come out throughout this weekend in Chicago with the Empower Network Get Money event, is you have to have belief. You have to have belief in yourself and belief in anything that you can do. But more than that, you need to have a purpose. So as you set yourself off on this journey, by reading the book, that's your first step. Always think about what is your purpose in doing what it is you're going to do, why you're going to become an entrepreneur. What is the reason behind it? What is your why? And when you have that defined, the world's your oyster. There is nothing that you cannot do. And we really wish you every success on your journey as you're watching this video. Tom and Shelley, amazing guys. They have an incredible why. You need to go ask them what that is, and I know they're going to help you to achieve your dreams.
So there you have it, The Mindset Shift by Chris and Susan Beasley and Amanda Ollier. A roadmap, if you will, for success in your entrepreneurial business. How to go from employee to internet entrepreneur. Highly recommend this book, and it's available at...
It's available on Amazon, but you can go to the website, which is themindsetshift.com, and all of the ways that you can get hold of the book are there. Everything from the paperback, which Tom is holding his hands there, to Kindle version, downloads, PDFs, text reader, whatever it is that you want, we've made it accessible to you. So we want you to read it in the best way that you can.
There you have it. No excuses. Get the book. It's in whatever format you prefer. The Mindset Shift. Thank you very much. Thanks, Chris and Susan.
Thank you.
Thank you.